All right, you guys voted for Idubbbz for the next thing, the Oompaville video called "The Victims of Idubbbz." Exciting stuff. Let's see what we got here. We just watched Idubbbz kind of have a little bit of a pearl clutching moment over the cart narcs. Then again, it seemed like there were some reasonable criticisms of the cart narcs was being a little too extra to provoke a response from people. But generally, I think it's kind of funny when he goes around and he calls people, whatever, forget what he calls them. Lazy bones. That's what he calls them. But let's see what this is. Let's see what we got here from Oomperville.
Idubbbz used to be very mean in his videos. He destroyed people. That's what he was known for. And lately, there's been a series of videos going around about the victims of someone. The victims of CoffeeZilla. The victims of me. But not my YouTube victims, my murder victims. And the people that
Very based.
that I've been hurting for a long period of time and killing and murdering.
You know this guy's dating Call Me Chris or whatever? It's just interesting. I see her. I used to see her on TikTok, and then I realized that they're dating. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, it's a thing. It's just interesting. So, a small world. That's all I'm saying.
Slaughtering or in my basement, etc. Idubbbz has a lot of victims, and this retrospective is going to...
I wouldn't necessarily call them victims. I know what they mean in this capacity, but I think they deserved it.
To open your eyes.
And I think that Idubbbz, it was fine that he was like, yeah, you know, I regret being a little bit cuckoo in my old videos, but overall, I still kind of agree with it. If he said something like that, I was like, yeah, I was a little, I'm just getting older, you know? I don't necessarily regret it, but I'm just getting older, and I look back at those and go like, I'm older now. I think that's a normal evolution, but it seems like he overcompensated
on a lot of different things. We're pretty much just going to be looking at how he utterly and entirely...
I remember him going on a podcast of like some black woman, and she was like, yeah, you were real racist to that one guy. I forget. The one guy, I forget who he is, what his name is, but all he did he would just watch other people's content and just put a face over it. He wouldn't pause it and give incredibly meaningful commentary like me, of course. No one could beat me. But he wouldn't give any meaningful commentary, and the girl was like, yeah, see, that was like racist. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Really destroyed quite a few creators. How's it going, bros? My name is PewDiePie.
Incredible. My name is PewDiePie.
Lawsuit.
Oh no.
From your mama. I'd say that Idubbbz is one of the titans of content creation. He's not super relevant nowadays, but he was like the shit when you...
Yeah, he just plays WoW on Twitch sometimes, and I watch in there, and I sometimes I say something, I'll chat a little bit, and he'll respond to me, which is all right, I guess. Like, it's cool. I was like, oh, that's cool. I think the last time I just told him about warrior runes in Season of Discovery, it's just like, I don't know, the energy's different, man. The energy's different.
YouTube was first really kicking it into high gear, creating these interesting communities that it's fun to be a part of. H3, Keemstar, Idubbbz, me. Not really, I was irrelevant then. I played Feed and Grow Fish game, and I looked like this. All right, guys, so...
Wow, what is that?
Back again playing Fish, Feed, and Grow. I apologize for that passionate intro, but we're gonna play Crab Madness. But did I slang?
Wow.
Yeah. No, I didn't really. I didn't actually.
Wow. Just looks like a little baby.
Back in 2015 and 2016, Idubbbz was one of my favorite content creators, personally. I really liked his Kickstarter crap videos.
Yeah, those were fun. I enjoyed those too.
Convinced me he had some kind of cancer. That's why he burped all the time and was bald. I even saw him on Omegle once. Like, not even joking. I actually I met Idubbbz on Omegle once. Crazy. He made you...
Did you guys kiss, or?
...to look very fun in the way that he did it, and it made me want to do it in the way that I want to do it. And quite frankly, I didn't. I just played Feed and Grow Fish, an amazing frog. Idubbbz...
What the fuck is Feed and Grow Fish? I don't
like myself, has changed dramatically?
Yeah,
dramatically? Sure. Idubbbz, like myself, has changed dramatically since 2016,
I mean, yeah, it's normal for people to change.
2015, 2017, that era
normal.
of YouTube. And he has made a lot of videos on different people that have absolutely cemented his place in the Mount Rushmore of YouTube commentary videos.
Yeah. He should have just went in the direction of Ethan, made his videos, kept them up, and just made a podcast. That's where the money is, baby. Low effort podcast. I mean, I'm kind of part of that now. It's weird when I tell people what I do. They're like, "Oh, so you have a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I have a podcast." Like, I don't feel like dealing with it,
Tent cop videos specifically. What we do here is go back. I've got to say, I did hate that song when I first heard that.
I liked it.
Here is go back.
I didn't get it. I don't understand it. Now, I don't know if we're starting with the biggest.
I liked it. So Fuck you.
victim of Idubbbz, but we'll start with Jinx. Do you guys remember?
That's the guy. That's the guy. Yep, that's what I was talking about before.
Jinx. Jinx Reload was ahead of the curve. He was a reaction channel before the dark times of YouTube, in which everyone has a reaction channel, including myself. It's a second channel, but we also release vlogs occasionally. Check this out.
But let's be clear, okay? This is his reactions weren't the same as like an Asmongold or a Papa Gut reaction. He would just put videos on the screen and put his face on the screen. It's like those annoying TikToks that do the same thing, where it's just about watching the video with their face on it. Like, you don't even, I notice that there's faces on it and then I'll just turn it off. Like, give me something. Like, give it a little bit of decent commentary. What I try to do. Or give me shitty commentary. I don't care. Try. Just try. Try to do something.
You remember where this thing corn is?
I don't know. No.
Well,
Who's a bald guy?
on it. You think so? Yeah. It was back this way somewhere. Okay.
It's very fun, and we just f around and say shit we shouldn't. I think the case of Jinx is hilarious because it was a very different time on YouTube, and now, you know, things have changed so much. The majority of Twitch is doing less than what Jinx did. Even less. They're adding even less. They just sit there, they watch.
I don't know if that's true. It's almost impossible to do that. Jinx literally didn't do anything, from my understanding. Jinx like would just sit there and maybe laugh.
Videos, they stand up, they walk off, they eat on camera.
Oh, I mean, I eat on camera sometimes too, but I'm just a hungry boy.
You know, they forget to turn their camera off and jack off, etc.
I would never forget to turn my camera off when I did that.
Or is that just me? And that's why I don't post on
I leave it on purpose.
Twitch anymore, guys. But you didn't know about that, did you? I'm just kidding. I'm saying false shit just to spread more rumors. Me when I spread information. Me when I spread this information on the internet.
All right.
Jinx would, in his own words, react to almost anything. The guy was not above reacting to, I mean...
Smart tactic, by the way.
Really, he would genuinely react to anything.
Anything! It didn't matter!
He just stole shit, pretty much. He's a comedic genius.
Pretending Jinx's career was killed by Idubbbz was so dumb. His channel was already dying. He was worse reactor than anybody. Then Sniper Wolf. I don't know. I mean, it could be possible. It's also possible that he was in like a little bit of a low point and then Idubbbz was able to just swoop in. It's also possible that people just kind of, I don't know, farted, I guess. I don't know. What am I saying? Sure. Okay. I don't fucking know.
Or something like that. Idubbbz said it best in his video, though. He stole content from everywhere. And it's crazy because this is just normal now. This is what Twitch is.
It's not. I mean, maybe Twitch. I don't know. I mean, maybe it is normal. Maybe I'm just getting too defensive because I'm a dirty fucking React channel.
YouTube, not as.
Excuse me. I'm a conversationalist. I'm not a reaction. I'm not a reactor. I don't react. I provide meaningful conversational commentary with a beautiful, striking voice, of course. You right? Everybody loves my voice. I know that. That's all. I know I got that going for me.
There are still a lot of really bad reaction channels that just narrate things that are going on or whatever. They provide, there's no sort of value or character in it. There's a clear.
I mean, that's more than Jinx did, wasn't it? For narrating what's going on.
Difference, in my opinion, between good reaction content and bad reaction content. There are a lot of people, myself included, who like watching reaction content. For example, Critical. I love watching Critical.
I love watching
just
him.
talk about stuff.
I love fucking jerking off this guy
that he's watching around the stream. It's entertaining, and 9 times out of 10, I would never watch the video anywhere else unless Critical.
I've never seen like Moist Critical react to a video. I'm so confused when people call him a reactor. I really don't get it. I feel like he's a commentary person. He's not like a reactor. I've never seen maybe he does on a stream or something. I don't know.
Is showing it or Mudahar whenever you find something, etc. I don't think many people would argue that this is the same thing that generally happens now on YouTube. It's mainly a Twitch problem. XQC, for example, Hassan gets flack all the time as well.
I mean, I'll say XQC does very little commentary, so he deserves flack. Hassan, as much as I don't like him, he seems to do commentary, at least on the videos that are posted on YouTube. Although he frequently gets up, walks away, and then apparently the new thing is he has his editor edit him in as if he never got up and walked away. It's just so weird.
Well, for this, countless streamers get called out for just stealing content and then walking off and then making fat stacks or whatever. I really don't know. I don't watch a lot of streamers. It is crazy how much has changed since this video from Idubbbz came out, though. Truly, Jinx was way ahead of his time.
Because again, I feel like Jinx is nowhere near. Even, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I saw, because I engaged with this like a while ago. From what I saw, even XQC significantly reacts more than Jinx ever did. I could be wrong, and you can correct me, but I'm pretty sure that it's not the same at all. Okay.
And one point in the video that does still hold up is when Idubbbz said that it wasn't entirely Jinx's fault, but the audience promoting it in the comments.
This is only half Jinx's fault. Okay, the other half lies squarely on the people that watch him. because these are the people that are feeding the cancerous content. If you don't believe me, just read
I mean, I don't blame the people. They're just wanting to engage in content. It's more about the creator promoting the content, though.
the comments of this video.
Do Fetty Wap next. Jinx, can you please do a Hobson interview?
Bruh. LMFAO, keep them coming. You should do Chris Brown, Kendrick Lamar.
Damn, he probably get beat up, man.
Please? Do you guys kind of get it now?
What are my thoughts on Destiny? You know, I've never talked about Destiny or made a video about Destiny, so I'll have to think about that one for like a couple days, okay?
All content is propagated by the audiences that enjoy it and let it exist. It's kind of how YouTube works. It's kind of how algorithms work. They're just potential, right? Like the algorithm's not real. Your content is just either something that people want to watch or it's not. So things have changed, obviously. The reaction stuff has changed massively. All in all, I think reaction content is fine, but the OG reaction content that started on YouTube was not good. Blasphemous, for example, another guy.
Oh, yeah, we saw that guy. That was weird, too. I remember watching a video about him, too. I remember reacting to a video about that guy, too.
That just didn't add anything and stole people's thumbnails and content all the time.
And then I think he, like, tried to sleep with 16-year-olds. Fucking weird guy.
Jinx, etc. They deserve to be scared off the platform. Who the f cares? But regardless, his legacy.
Oh, this guy's racist, dude. He's only going after all the black guys. Come on. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? I'm kidding.
He lives on in the content we still consume to this day. Doubly also would like to clarify that Idubbbz clearly pointed out that basic reacting isn't the main issue. It's just stealing content and then claiming it as your own. From this, we got the birthplace of Idubbbz' interest in charity boxing matches. It never came to fruition, unfortunately. Would have been awesome. So what happened to Jinx?
I thought he did. I thought, what? Am I missing something? What?
Well, he's still on the platform, but he gets like 100 views a video.
Wait, Jinx is still on the platform? Really?
Would have been awesome. So what happened to Jinx? Well, he's still on the.
Oh, I go, does his account get banned or something? I'm kind of curious. Jinx, Rebel. Wow, is this really him?
What? Bitch, I bet your bitch know a Mario films.
I have no idea what that is. Wow.
Boy, we take him to the church.
Jinx versus Jinx, the pastor.
Chick-fil-A deluxe sandwich with the cheese on it, you feel me? Let me get a 30-piece nugget.
You feel
me?
You
know what? Yeah, let me get like 2 of all the sauces. Let me try them on.
All right, well, it's pretty good content, I guess.
On the platform, but he gets like 100 views a video, which is so sad.
Wow. That's very sad.
Yeah, I think so too, cuz. Oh no, we lost him, man.
How is he not doing that? That is so unbelievable. How about his Instagram? Oh, okay, he does a little better on Instagram. That's adorable. He's also on TikTok, by the way, and he kind of refers back to his old content.
I mean, he could totally still do. He could totally do his old content on TikTok. They do not care. They will not care at all. He should.
Damn, he does pretty good on TikTok. Seems like he's staying in his lane though. You know,
you could probably make money on TikTok too, honestly.
The kid, he's happy. What else could you possibly want in life? Now we go to potentially the largest victim, I guess, of Idubbbz.
Jeez, is it a fat person? Is that why they're large?
I'm not 100% sure. He's still around. He didn't really seem to be that victimized by this whole thing, but this was massive and colossal when it first happened. And I watched every second of it for some reason. Keemstar.
Oh.
I just feel like he has a very like abrasive way of interviewing people that's kind of just entertaining.
Why'd you do the shaking thing?
You mean just bad?
Yeah, it's just like a way that I explain things. I have autism. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well,
like me and Keem had a lot of sexual tension, I have to say, to be honest. Idubbbz content cop on Keemstar just goes after him and says that he's a terrible guy and he makes bad content and he's a rat and a gnome.
On his Twitter, he will constantly allude to people being guilty or innocent or not guilty, depending on whether they go onto his show or not. Keemstar, I know you're very fucking slow. I said allude. Your hand is fucking shaking right now because you really want to do a Twitter video and say,
dude, you got to think about this logically. The only time some big YouTuber wants to come on Drama Alert is to clear their name because they're in the right? And the only time like a small YouTuber wants to come on is they want to come on like no matter what because they're about to get a lot of exposure.
He calls out how manipulative he is by going on Twitter and alluding to people that if they come on his show, they can prove that they're innocent in certain times of drama. He also takes a dig at him and says that he's the news.
Keemstar is very adamant that the Drama Alert channel is different from his Twitter account. They shouldn't be compared to one another because one is very opinionated and the other one is facts, news, and hard-hitting reporting. However, one is run by a complete sociopath and the other is also run by the same complete sociopath.
He says that he claims he doesn't have opinions, but is always giving his opinions. He then says it himself.
Now, I don't give my opinions on Drama Alert. In fact, that's the reason why my show is so successful. It's because we don't bombard you with opinions.
This is really where Keemstar's retardation is highlighted, right?
Whoa. Hey. Don't use that word, dude.
Dude, Dude, what a crazy time. Holy shit.
Is Leafy the biggest one that he ever took down? Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I just vaguely remember all the chin comments that he would make. That's pretty much it.
Oh, wow. He just keeps calling him out and saying how he's a backstabber and an overall terrible person, and he even showed a DM of Keem having a bit of a power trip. It's been rehashed a million times. I don't want to stir up any drama. Idubbbz ended up ending the video off basically proving that Keemstar is a gnome. I think he drove to the desert and sets a gnome up on a hill and then shoots it with a shotgun. That's supposed to be Keemstar.
Wow.
And he's got a shitty Mossberg.
Any last words, Keemstar?
Drama Alert Nation now over 1,308,000.
Back when you could get away with being based, dude. What? Back when the police could get away with being based.
86,000.
Damn. I thought a shotgun would look cooler. I thought it would have exploded.
Somebody once told me that I...
And then it ends with an epic all-star parody. So, I don't know. It's a long time ago. This stuff has changed. Keemstar now, I believe, refers to himself as a villain on the internet, like he really leans into it. And Idubbbz has just taken a absolute complete different turn from where he was. I mean, I've seen more offensive shit just in the 10 minutes of fucking going through what we've just gone through than I think I've seen all year just watching normal YouTube. Everyone's way different than they used to be. So what's old Keem up to now? Well, sometimes he comes on the Some Ordinary podcast and argues with my PNG friend Nux.
I feel like people aren't against you as much as they feel like you're losing the forest for the trees.
I'm sorry, what did you say? To the guy,
what the fuck does that even mean?
That like is 12 minutes late to the show. What did you say?
The guy that's 12 minutes late to the show. That was the one that suggested.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. I come here last minute. I come here as a guest last minute to save their show so they have a host. Everyone's here except for the little dude that's afraid to show his face. That will talk about other people's appearances but won't show his face. Go ahead.
That is kind of base though. That is a reasonable criticism.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
Do I talk about other people's appearances?
You called me bald,
dude.
Like he's gonna. You know that wasn't gonna fly.
I called Keem bald.
You did
last. You said something. I don't really care. It's not that important. I get it.
He's stepped back a lot and he's kind of keeping to himself a bit more now. I think he does in as respectful of a way as I possibly can because I try not to personally attack people nowadays.
Why did he used to personally attack people or something?
Whenever unless of course it's convenient to me to personally attack someone. He does still sort of resemble that gnome, I do have to say, but that just comes with age. If I grew my beard out, I would also look like a gnome. It's just kind of a thing that comes, it's.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, I don't think I look like a gnome at all, but I'm also not 5'6". I'm 6'4", so.
Just natural. The natural progression of being a man. Gnomes are gnomes for a reason. I don't actually even know how tall he is. I think he'd be a gnome if he was really short. I don't know how tall Keemstar is.
176 centimeters.
Okay, I have no idea how much that's in feet. It's gonna be like
5'8".
Shut up! No, it's not. I'm taller than 5'4". What the?
You're 5'9".
Okay, I'm 5'9".
That's what I'm saying.
But it says 5'11" on my license, so.
That's like normal height for men, I think. Not for Americans. And actually, I'm 7 years old, and I'm.
No, if you're under 6'1", man, sorry. Sorry, guys.
I'm in my 7th year of school, and I'm 6'4". Whenever you mention height on the internet, especially if you're a creator such as myself, or whatever the I am, people are always very quick to compare how tall they are, and then also mention how young they are. It's a very hilarious thing that I love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm 7 years old, dude. Oh yeah, I'm 9 years old and I'm a senior in high school and I'm 7'4".
I have no idea what fucking meme he's referring to.
Okay, Tana Mojo, possibly the biggest all.
Well, I know that Idubbbz regrets this one the most, more than anything else.
All the content cops, I would say the biggest one, like in terms of reach and
say Friends in Paris,
and just how crazy it was because it was the classic moment that I will show to you in a minute. It's this one you definitely know. The Tana content.
I remember when I first saw it, I thought it was so funny. That was years ago. Now, of course, you shouldn't say bad words. They're not good words. Even the R slur, guys. Stop. It makes me sad. But it was funny back then, man. It was kind of funny.
Content cop is probably the most strange one, the most bizarre of all of them. Idubbbz did not like Tana's content, and Tana did not like Idubbbz and wanted him to KHS. KHS, yeah. KHS. You know what that means. She said, so 3 million people subscribe to you and you openly say the N-word and R-word? KYS. She then explained to her community after that moment that she took.
I think she meant like calm yourself. CYS,
took it down because she told him to KHS. He then talks about her life and how crazy it is.
Her life is fucking bananas. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's not bananas. It's actually very mundane.
I've been eating a lot of bananas lately, trying to, instead of trying to not eat ice cream,
Boil down any of her videos, you realize, holy shit, I've gotten in arguments before. Someone has lied about me before. I've had a horrible experience with customer service representatives as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's okay.
He makes a bunch of storytime videos and then just, I guess, makes shit up. I don't know. I figured all...
I mean, I feel like that's what all storytime videos are, yeah. Just making a bunch of shit up or sensationalizing stuff. Yeah.
Storytime videos were fake. Anytime anything crazy happens to people, I just automatically assume that it's just not real or it's heavily exaggerated. And this is, you know, throughout history, I've always thought this, like, the true events of Wyatt Earp and Tombstone. Come on. Really? Come on. Are you sure about all that?
He only regrets that because she has the most clout now. So apologizing gets him the most gooning point. I can't see what that's. Oh, good point was. I don't think that that's true. I don't think that everything Idubbbz does is like some disingenuous play at clout or fame. He probably just genuinely feels bad. Again, I just think that he overcorrected. I don't think that he's like a bad guy. I think he just kind of overcorrected a little too much. That's my only real criticism. I think everything else is fine. But you guys are mean, dude.
If it's not like documented with video, I just don't believe that shit. So I'm really not going to believe Tana Mojo. He then echoes the same sentiment that most of us have whenever we see creators talking about crazy stories or whatever. They're just making shit up. They're exaggerating those things clearly for content. It makes sense. That's what people do. They lie, they cheat, they steal. Also, a long time ago. I don't know if she still does that. I have no idea. I've never met Tana Mojo. Then Idubbbz gets back to the point of her stating she got originally mad because of Idubbbz's use of the N-word. To which he did research and found that she used the N-word rather maliciously, literally hard R.
A couple months ago, Tana Mojo tweeted at me that she was very unhappy with my use of the N-word. I didn't respond to her tweet. Instead, I did a bit of research and I found out that she used the dreaded N-word in the past. No. But she didn't use the N-word in the same way that I use it. She used it in a very mean-spirited way.
You know you stupid.
Oh, no.
That's like very bad footage for sure. Tana's excuse to this was that she grew up in Vegas and she thought it only meant homie or friend. Not a great excuse.
With the hard R? Oh, what did I just get? I don't think you could pull that one off, brother.
That's an interesting thing to call your homie or friend. That's an interesting way to say homie or friend. I don't know. It's odd. And I think that was Idubbbz's main point
sexual.
there. Idubbbz clarified that point and said you cannot claim ignorance of a word just because of the context that it's used in. And in every high school in America, you learn about slavery and racism and, you know, all that stuff.
Growing up in Vegas, everybody said those words, and I didn't even know that they were considered racist at all. They were in rap songs, and I totally thought it just meant like homie or like friend.
If she's using a soft day, man, maybe you're right. I mean, I used to hear it all the time in those rap songs.
She does a very poor job of trying to explain it away. She's saying, I was 13 or 14. I didn't understand the use of the word.
That's a reasonable argument, to be honest with you.
Thought it meant friend or homie, despite my use of it being, you know, you stupid, right?
He explains what we're all feeling like those are weak defenses for explanations, and he then decided to go to a meet and greet and try to get her to say the word as an ultimate resolution.
I don't know if he actually tried to get her to say the word. I think it was more of him just kind of trolling her, but...
to this part. And all this shit's super outdated, by the way, in regard to the word. You cannot say the N-word. It is not appropriate to say, especially not on the internet. Jesus. I will not be saying it. I do not say it. I don't really think...
Wow. I'm gonna clap for you, buddy.
I think it's cool or anything like that. With the hard R, though, it's a bit of a different story. And I mean that in the...
What do you mean you can say it with the hard R's?
This Tech Tips way, where it's like the R word, the one for people who are mentally handicapped. Because
yeah, that's bad too.
If you haven't seen that clip, that just makes me seem like a person who uses the N-word a lot.
The casual sort of gay humor, casual use of the hard R.
Oh, really?
It's jarring. Yeah, it's jarring now. And for
casual use of hard R.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
are you talking like N-word hard R?
What? No.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's how people use that term.
No.
Yeah, hard R. The R slur is what you usually say.
I think
that's the N-word. What are you guys talking about? Am I mistaken?
I think so.
No, the one with the for mental disability.
I'm pretty sure people use hard R in a very different way than you just used it.
Okay, either
hard
way.
R means ending.
I understand.
It's like my wife's wagon.
I understand what you mean. No, I'm not talking about that. Okay, cool. So I'm glad that
I'm
we have cleared
freaking
that
Neo
up.
over here, dude. We're dodging bullets. That was bad.
Okay, yes.
All right.
Thank you for that. So make sure to include that clip in the video. Thank you. Appreciate it. We then get to Idubbbz's meet and greet experience with Tana. He gets some merch, he gets to the place. It's all fun and games. He then walks right up next to her for a picture and says the famed word, the famed epic moment that we all have seen.
Say, Keemstar.
It is so wild how that all transpired, and then she said that I don't know. That is such an insane...
Oh yeah, I think that she had said that he assaulted her or something like that. Or grabbed her or some dumb shit.
Insane video. That's just so fucking strange and bizarre and unbelievable. Oh my god. Her retelling the story from the way that she perceived it happening is probably the best part of this whole thing, because she's just exaggerating so grossly and proving his point to an extent that you just could never have expected. It's wild.
What's up to me. He kind of like locks his arm around me, like around my neck like this. And it wasn't like it was like a chokehold or anything. It was very like firm and like tight, like I couldn't really go under.
I can't believe she didn't know him. I can't believe that she didn't know who he was. The great legend himself, am I right?
Does that make sense? I'll explain it in a second. And so the guy looks at me and he wraps his arm around me and he looks at the camera and he goes, say, and puts his thumbs up and then like blink and he says the N-word, like hard R.
She says she tried to break his grip or whatever. You can clearly see that that's not the case. He was just like had his arm around her. She says she was scared that he had a gun or a knife and
Jesus,
just wondered if she should run away after she pulled away. I don't know. It's pretty wild. Then she starts crying and acting like a victim, etc. She doesn't know what she did to deserve all this. And then he plays the clip of her saying that she wishes he broke all his legs and lost all his subscribers. I don't know. It's just so old and
yeah, it just sounds like some high school drama kind of a stuff thing. Yeah, sure.
You know, this is the thing though. It's like we're going back to retrospective. It feels like I feel wrong. I feel like I shouldn't be talking about this. I feel like this has already been stuff that's done and gone. Yeah. He leaves the last part of the video calling out how she always exaggerates her stories for views.
In this section of the video, I want to address the exaggerations and small details that she embellishes just to make the story more interesting.
And I look at him and
hey, you gotta get that paper, baby.
I'm like, no, like we had to kick him out. He was like trying to fight people, and it was really a sketchy situation, to be honest with you. He was like trying to fight people, and
We're getting kicked out apparently.
You gotta go, bro. You gotta go.
I'm VIP though. I'm VIP.
She even did a story time saying that he was trying to fight people, which is just so
Did she really? That's crazy.
Absurd. I guess she just assumed that he wasn't recording the whole time. He wasn't documenting.
Well, that's one thing to do it for comedic effect. It's another thing to just lie about a story. This is crazy. I hate this character so much.
This for a video, which makes sense because this is wild. It's crazy. Also, it's wild that her story time was on stage. She did this. She's just telling stories on stage and making money from that. That's fucking mind-boggling to me. What a strange world. He shows footage that he just didn't fight anyone, of course. She just exaggerates all the time, every single part of the story. It's wild. Then he ends the video by saying it's all okay or none of it's okay, stating that words are allowed to offend you, but you can't pick and choose which words are okay and which words are not okay.
Yeah, it's obviously like a silly point. You know, as society grows, things change, and you know the acceptability of words change. It is what it is, brothers.
And that was the end of the drama between Tana Mojo and my boy Idubbbz.
And that is, it's either all okay or none of it's okay. It's important to remember if you ever mistakenly identify a word as off limits. No words are off limits. You're allowed to get offended by the words and say, "Oh, I didn't like that."
Wow, typical white man. Am I right, guys?
Very much. But for you to come at the person and say, you're a bad person for saying this, you're racist for saying this. At the end of the day, everything's a choice. Black people can choose to get offended by black slurs. Asian people can choose to get offended by Asian slurs. White people can choose to get offended by black slurs. And Tana Mongeau can
that's kind of funny, actually.
Choose to get offended by black slurs.
And by the way, the all or none okay, I mean, obviously, this is outdated. This is super, super old. I think that just doesn't really make a lot of sense, personally speaking.
Wow,
what do you guys think? Do you think they're all okay? I think they're definitely...
What do you guys think? Do you think they're all okay? Why would you ask that question? I guess for the engagement in the comments. What do you guys think? Do you think it's okay to say the N-word? Boost?
All okay to just think in your head? Because, like, you can think whatever you want. And
oh, yeah, I can't even control what I think, brother. If I'm thinking in my head, it's not my fault, you know?
You can also say whatever you want in confidence. And you can say, yeah, I say all sorts of things. Not just specifically words, but like...
It's like admitting something? I'm confused.
Paragraphs and entire sentences that would get me burnt on the internet. I would explode for sure. And there's not a single slur involved. I kind of understand, but it's like, you know.
What the hell are you saying? If you're saying things that don't have a slur involved but could get you canceled, what are you saying on the internet? Are you saying what weird shit could you possibly say?
If you're going to say it online and stuff, that's just different, right? That's just kind of different, isn't it, Bibbit? What do you guys think, though? Do you think this is outdated? Do you still think it's all okay or none of it's okay?
Why the fuck are you going on a tangent about this?
I really don't know what I think, to be honest. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt. But in the modern age, I feel like everything is too murky to be able to...
I think it's okay to go as a society to say, hey, let's try to be sensitive to people and not use slurs. You know, I'd say slurs are off limits, and that's okay. It's not like a huge thing. Say whatever you want in private, but I mean, when it comes to a public setting, yeah, man. Like, why do you even want to use slurs so bad? I only use them when I'm angry and alone. Just kidding.
Determine what is ethical online because of like cancel culture, which is pretty epic in my opinion, and then also just people getting mad and not understanding. There's just a lot lost in context. It's very just gray. Okay. So I feel like real life is super different from the internet, and I definitely think there's
really droning on about this point here.
Certain things you shouldn't say on the internet, TBH. Anyways, so where is Tana Mojo go now? She's just doing her own thing, it seems like, and she's thriving, I think her friends would probably say. She's got a podcast. It's pretty baller. I've seen a couple of clips. She made Matt Rife look like an idiot, which I really like that a lot. And she seems like she's just kind of doing well. And I think they're friends now or something.
And it says Idubbbz has apologized to Tana Mojo.
And I don't know how
I could have swore her name was Tana Mongeau.
feel about it, you know, because like Tim inevitably making me kind of canceled and lose subscribers and have to apologize and all that type of stuff. I kind of think I'd like deserve that. And maybe that's like dark, like to say.
Also in
What the fuck was that?
light of
Andy
Idubbbz
super
recent
chatted $1.99.
What's up, brother?
Papa, did you like the new Ben Shapiro rap?
I loved it a lot, man. I loved it a lot.
apology and unlisting of all these
was
videos,
my
the reason I
favorite.
decided to do the deep dive and make this video and kind of, you know, revisit this stuff because it is so interesting and it is such a deep facet of YouTube that's super important to me. It was like my formative years. Ian has distanced himself from this. He's trying to move on. He's trying to do his own thing now and separate himself from this dark.
Listen, I don't know what he's doing. Trying to do his own thing, man. I wish he would do something else. Well, I think he did make a podcast called like My Wife and I Are Kind of Sad or something. I think that's the name of the podcast. Let me tell you, man. Okay, I do not dislike Idubbbz, but the chemistry he has with his wife when it comes to content is it inspires no one. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel like it's just missing a little bit of something, you know. I feel like he's overcorrected. He's got a little too nice. You know, we've all been there, but he's got to edge up a little bit. Not crazy edgy. You don't have to try to offend people, but just like pull your edge up a little bit, brother. You know.
Time, and Tana saw this and is just like, I didn't deserve an apology, and comes back with a surprisingly, I guess, based and red-pilled, which I did not expect that, but that makes sense. I mean, that's pretty cool. Next we have
Sign
Leafy.
12 super chatted $1.99. Papa PLS, look at the Ben Shapiro
I did
Tom
already,
McDonald
brother.
song.
I already did, brother. First thing I did, dude. You were late to the stream.
Sifx4
you
super
punk.
chatted $2.
What's going on, man? How you doing? That's so funny. It's like my cousin. You don't have to donate money to me, man. you shouldn't donate money to me.
Who was last year or the year before deleted from YouTube for harassing Pokimane. When Idubbbz did a content cop on Leafy, it was...
Oh, no, not Pokimane. I'm just... You know what? I will say, Pokimane, it's impressive that her career is staying. And I think that right now we should be taking bets and predictions on how long she's going to tolerate Hassan as he slowly and continuously fucking fails. I can't wait. I can't wait for him to start respond to just acknowledge me again, because when Hassan does decide to acknowledge me again and cry about me again, that's when it's officially over. That's when he's really hit the bottom of the barrel, responding to like absolute no ones. It's gonna be fucking insane. Well, we're waiting for the downfall. We're waiting for the downfall.
A unprecedented move. Leafy was the YouTuber that everyone was scared of. And I feel like this was probably the biggest of all the content cops. I don't really know, because I'm not judging it by views. I'm judging it just by...
Really? They were scared of Leafy? What's up with... What happened? What's up with YouTube? The state of YouTube is something else, man.
Feeling and vibes. And
doesn't he just say transphobic stuff now all the time? That's just his whole thing? And like trying to be shock value funny because he doesn't actually have any real humor?
the energy, man. And the aura and how I felt. And, you know, how much better my playthroughs of Feed and Grow Fish were at the time. So this was a wild moment when Idubbbz did the content cop on Leafy. Because the last thing you wanted as a person on the internet at all with any sort of presence ever was to be in the title or the thumbnail of a Leafy video, because you knew that a flood of like child soldiers essentially with torches and pitchforks.
Oh man, it sounds just like Hamas.
Literal babies in chainmail would go on their way to call you fat or ugly and then just make fun of the way that you look relentlessly. And at this point in time, Leafy was the larger creator between the two. And he was punching up on a guy that made a career at punching down at children and people with disabilities.
Damn.
Children, sometimes they can be cringe, but you shouldn't punch.
I mean, children are always cringe. I feel like adults are cringe too, man. It's getting weird because I'm starting to almost enjoy millennial humor. And it's not good because I feel I noticed it the other day. I forget what TikTok I watched, but it was just stupid. And it was just, I think it was a TikTok about Gen Z churches, and it was some guy my age making fun of them. And I got a chuckle out of it. And then after I was like, wow, what do Gen Zers think of this humor? Like, I feel like I'm still in the know for Gen Z humor, but that's probably because I'm old. And I feel like anybody my age would go like, yeah, you know, I'm in the know. Like, yeah, I'm one of the cool ones. I'm one of the cool ones, guys. But I'm just probably cringe as fuck. Just not realizing it. It's terrible.
Punch them. just in case you didn't know. Ian opens the video with a classic content cop moment, predicting how Leafy will respond to the content cop. And it's
just gonna start jacking off. That's what I thought.
Sort of a theme of the content cops. Ian is a smart dude. He can do research. He can kind of, you know, predict patterns of behavior for people that he's done a lot of research on. He knows their habits. It's not super hard, and generally he was able to predict how the people in his content cops would lash out after the videos went live.
Okay.
Look at that f***ing face. Isn't this the same motherfucker who dresses up in a green suit and dances to Uptown Pops for views?
Spot on observational comedy, as always, Leafster.
Ian also has this criticism fairy thing.
Well, he's got like that Eminem thing going on there, huh?
That comes up
He's gonna predict what the guy's gonna say first, so he can't even hit him with it. Smart stuff, man. That's an alpha Chad play, some would say. I'm gonna get this.
Time he says controversial shit or anything that people might find distasteful. It's like being self-aware of something makes it okay.
Throughout this video, I'm gonna have moments where I'll say some
Yo, shut the fuck up, bro. Bro, I was watching some of your content from last year. Wouldn't shut up about your wife nonstop. I love my wife. Shut up, dude. You're just jealous because you don't have a wife and you're ugly and nobody likes you. I'm just kidding. Hey, listen, bro. Last year was a huge red pill year, okay? It was a huge evolution red pill year. I'm obligated to talk about my wife when we engage with red pill content. We have to do it, okay? People need to know what a stable, happy marriage looks like, all right? That's what you have to do, all right?
controversial shit, and anytime I say
Paul
that, I'm
super
gonna have
chatted $1.99. First time catching the steam, my large Howard Stern.
Incredible stuff. Thank you so much.
criticism fairy pop out and sort of deflate any opinion, any dissenting opinion that anyone might have. You Idubbbz, you don't know anything. Idubbbz, you're a piece of chat. Please log off the Ethernet.
It takes the wind out of people who are critical, or that's like the sort of implication. On the whole, Ian is critical of Leafy of several different things. Being a hypocrite, feigning ignorance to avoid criticism, lying to his audience, and saying that him and Keemstar weren't friend. Specifically, Leafy left out details of him and Keemstar's friendship to justify talking shit about Keem. Leafy also really loved the word literally or literally. He had unoriginal insults or jokes. He called people old a lot. He's not that creative, I've got to say.
I think, you know, I listen, I'm not going to tell you I'm aging majestically. I feel like Leafy, like somebody showed a picture of it. Yeah, he looks rough, man. Like he's the guy that he's the guy that he used to make fun of, you know? He did not age gracefully. Damn. That's rough, bro. That's a rough one, brother. Incredible stuff. Damn. All right. You like Leafy's videos on Onision? I never really
calls him out for.
I never necessarily really looked into Onision, so yeah.
Overall, just being unfunny with his jokes. For example, calling people just based on the way that they look. Which, you know, that thinking about that is pretty funny. Just calling someone like a murderer.
I'll tell you, you're aging majestically. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think so. I think I'm doing a decent job aging too, man. I think I'm doing all right aging too. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm certainly good at it. I can keep up with anybody on how fast I'm aging. Okay, that's how good I am at it.
Murderer? You look like a murderer. What? What the f does that mean?
This motherfucker right here rapes people with that hat on. This guy is 100% seen a vagina, and he's definitely raped someone. Just look at his face.
What the fuck? What is this? I didn't know he used to just tell people he looks like he rapes people. What the fuck? That's just bizarre.
Look at his fucking face. I bet you anything he raped someone, killed them, and then threw them in the laundry and then made this song.
I know that you're joking. It's very obviously a joke. You're saying, look at his face.
Turkey Tom said Leafy could barely hold a conversation anymore. How could he ever hold one? Like, what is he on drugs? Is something going on there?
His face is a his face. Look at his dumb his face. I don't know. Maybe it is funny. After saying it back to myself, now I think it's funny.
He calls him out for use of terrible transition slides, which is true. They're so bad.
I used to fucking love these things. It's a great way to structure a very unorganized video. But Leafy's made me hate them because he has them played fucking 8 seconds long. It probably does seem like an absurd piece of criticism for a Leafy fan who has drool leaking out of their mouth 24/7, who really just wants a Leafy video to last 12 hours. Well, I'm gonna make the remainder of my transitions in this video 8 seconds long. Up until this point, they've been 2 seconds long, and I think that's plenty of time to read the stupid
dude, I need 8 seconds to comprehend what's going on the slide, bro.
shit I have on screen.
Idubbbz throughout his video sort of makes fun of the transition slides and quadruples the length of his own.
Yeah, kind of like how all Leafy does now is make fun of people who transition. That's just like only thing.
They're normally 2 seconds long in the content cop videos and makes them 8 seconds.
Man, you might be on drugs. Damn, that's those child stars, dude. Just like Frankie Muniz, man. Leafy, just like Frankie Muniz, brother. Rest in peace.
Long in this video to just highlight how unnecessarily long and annoying they were. The biggest part of the video, however, is the personal attack on the way that Leafy looks. He calls out his weak chin. And as a very strong-chinned individual, I reveled.
Oh my God, is he mewing?
I reveled in this. When this first came out, I was like, all right.
Oh my God, is he mewing right now?
Yeah, make fun of his chin.
See, I'm with it, dude. I'm with the trend. I'm right on schedule with all the trends, brother.
He's got a weak chin. That's funny.
I'm fucking.
That's pretty funny.
Right
and now, since people have learned about looks maxing and mewing, you can make your chin
mewing,
stronger.
Edge maxing, incredible.
Or whatever they can say. I don't know. He put out missing posters for Leafy's lost chin. He made a children's book for Leafy's chin.
I can vaguely remember that.
He made a hide the chin game for Leafy's chin. Then he closed out the video with another prediction of Leafy's response.
This is funny, man. He should have really never listen. It's fine that he stopped, but he never should have overcorrected so hard. Holy fuck! He could have done like a good content cop on somebody, Imagine he could have got one on Sam Hyde, since Sam Hyde keeps fucking with him. He really could have done something with that, and he just didn't. He just fucking goober snooched himself on that one. What are you thinking, brother?
He's a fucking 26-year-old man.
And this was a massive downfall of Leafy at the time, right? Like, he's on Rumble now. He streams on there randomly or something. I don't know. He has not that.
Is he on Rumble? I think, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, I think he got banned on Kick because he leaked like Destiny's wife's nudes or something stupid like that. Like, he did some immature shit, and then he got dumpstered for that. Destiny really is like the fucking bringer of terror now. We got this little femboy going around taking care of people, owning the libs and the conservatives here, getting people banned. It's crazy.
That many followers. It's kind of embarrassing. And after the content cop came out, Leafy had a pretty steep decline in subs. He lost about 2,000 a day averaged out. And I don't really know the exact reason, but it was probably a mix of.
Isn't that weird though? Like, he started losing subs after Idubbbz made the content cop. Like, did all the fans just not realize how fucking dumb the guy was? It doesn't make any sense to me. They were just going around like, yeah, I don't know. You just didn't know that he was fucking terrible. You just couldn't figure it out yourself. That seems a little bizarre to me, but okay.
Everything, Idubbbz starting kind of a trend of hating Leafy and people realizing that his content was repetitive. And then in 2020, 4 years after the content cop was made, he was banned from YouTube for harassing Pokemon, which is just so
got him.
I'll harass our cookies all day long, but
harass my balls, Dad.
Andrew Tate is a homosexual criminal. He's really been posting some bangers. People make fun of the way he looks as well because he just looks like a pretty normal dude. So I don't really know. It's an odd situation. It's funny. This guy is the type of guy who you would expect.
Yeah, he looks like the kind of guy that rapes people, apparently. Sorry.
To just make fun of people relentlessly online. Now we get to the true retro. What we do here is go back. The retrospective. Was Content Cop a good idea or was it cruel? Was it smart? Was it epic?
I think it was a fine idea. I think if he was just too mean, he could have dialed down the mean meter. But he kind of assassinated his credibility with his apology. I really do feel like I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I had my own rough. We'll say I had my own rough phase. I understand it. I had a pretty intense phase on a TikTok, but I'm proud of most of it. It got a little too edgy, Now I'm mewing back, but he overcorrected so hard. I think that really is what killed him.
Or was it just cruel? Did it age poorly? I feel like some parts may or may not have aged poorly, potentially, but I like it. I thought all of them were awesome. And by the way, it's just YouTube. It's not that.
Why don't you kiss him? You queer. Wait, I can't say that. That's might border a slur. Okay. All right. I was just being fun. Sorry, guys. Sorry to any of my LGBTQ community. I will make sure that I create an OnlyFans and for free, and I will show off my package to you guys. Okay, don't worry. I'll thirst trap for the gays because I know that they love that shit. I know the gays love me. I know. I got my eye on it. I'll be making my bear OnlyFans soon. Don't worry. Just kidding.
It's serious. It's criticism. Okay, let's move on. Regardless of whether or not they were good or bad, Idubbbz had some pretty legendary moments in those videos that were awesome. He had some pretty intelligent things to say. And I think it's a bit of a disservice to just say that they're all bad in a blanket statement because there are aspects of those videos that are sort of cutting edge for the time, especially. It's like something we've never seen before. People bitching and moaning on the internet. It's like a thing now. It's like a legitimate thing. For example, he called out Leafy, who's an adult man that makes fun of children and then tried to hide behind the fact that he's 20. That was his excuse, is that he's only 20 years old. He made a children's book about his chin. That's genius. He perfectly
I don't make fun of kids. I just beat them up.
predicted that Tana would exaggerate the events of what happened at the meetup, which she did, and that was epic. It was genius. He's a mastermind. He's like Stromboli.
He's
now,
a
all the epic
masturbator.
parts being said, there are a lot of parts that I understand why someone who made those and uploaded them would be apologetic now for behavior exhibited 8 years ago, 7 years ago. You know, there are some moments.
Don't clip
and
it.
no,
Don't clip that. Don't clip that. I'm going to ban you.
I'm not talking about the time that he chased a child around a parking lot in the beginning of the Leafy Content Cop intro.
Maybe you should chase around a little black kid. That's racist, man. Damn. This is so fucked up. He's got to apologize to fucking Jinx's kid here. What is he doing?
That's so crazy.
Bro, if I actually made an OnlyFans, I would totally charge like the minimum at least. Come on. Why would I do that for free? Okay.
But funny. I mean, that's funny. I assume it's fake. I like to hope that it is. That's fucking funny. Holy shit. It's moments like when he unironically told Keemstar to KHS that are bad. I think that's a bit too far. It makes sense
Why?
that he'd want to apologize on the whole for just
some people
being negative, right? Also apologizing for making Tana feel super uncomfortable by saying the N-word in the middle of one of her meet and greets. Like that is fucking out of pocket as shit. I think that's something I probably would also apologize
for. Tana, nice hair.
But Idubbbz just decided to blanket apologize for everything, which I think is perfectly valid, and he's obviously allowed to do that.
That kind of rhymed. If you think about it.
I want to know what you guys think. Also, Idubbbz addressing his controversial past on Anthony Padilla's podcast. A lot of really interesting moments.
Yeah, it was a little cringe, yeah.
It's a great thumbnail, by the way. I won't repeat the bad words anymore, mister, but I will put more grease in my hair. I would like to say that I can say that, by the way, about his hair, about it, because he has a mullet, or like kind of a mullet thing, and he's like an archetype of male now. There's the greasy, curly mullet hair guy with mustache that's a white guy who's on the internet doing stuff. I get lumped into that. There's been multiple tweets.
Not me. My hair is slick, baby. No grease in this. There's no this to grease. You know what I'm saying, dude? But it's okay, because I'm Knuff.
That lump me into this thing. I'm not that, all right? Do I look like I'm like that? I don't think I'm like that. I don't think I'm like that.
All right.
To be honest.
I understand. Autistic people like the mullet as a haircut. I get what you're saying.
I look like an idiot. These guys look like they can speak to women.
Papa Gut, you look really frisky right now. Maybe you should rub one out before continuing your live. Yeah, let me turn off the webcam.
I look like I speak to my bowel movements and expect that they'll respond. I kind of get it, right? I get the stepping back. You start to realize that you're a bad influence on people. For example, he was even a bad influence on Ethan Klein when he made him say those words. I don't
think he made Ethan say any words. Ethan liked saying those words. Pretty sure what Ethan said even took even made Idubbbz like go, what the fuck?
Those times. Well, he didn't make him, I guess, but he influenced him. He left such a great impression on Ethan that he said the N-word and the F slur.
I watched that clip, okay? I watched it before bed every night. He didn't make him say anything, dude.
A lot of times on the...
I watched it 13 times, just like my pastor said. 13 Hail Ethans.
History podcast. That was crazy. And he made the blanket statement.
I'm sorry to everyone that I made content cop videos on. I still don't like the majority of you, and that's fine, but I can recognize that you did not deserve the hate.
Don't pull a DSP. Bro, if I pulled a DSP, I would capitalize on that 1,000%. What are you talking about? I can't pull a DSP. Like, there's no way. I'm not like that not self-aware, you know? It doesn't matter, you know? If I did that on the internet, people would want to see that.
That I sent your way.
A bunch of people responded.
Oh, no, Papa God, they wouldn't. Yes, they would. Look at this. Oh, look at that. People want this. People want this, dude. This is what people want. I'm not that fat. I'm not as fat as Queso. Like, are you like, you know what I mean? Like, look. Like, I'm a little fat, but you guys think I'm so fat and like ugly and fucking lol cow, dude. I'm kind of sexy. I'm hot. Especially with the voice, dude. If I made like a story time OnlyFans, dude, and I was sitting here, you know, and I was saying some raunchy shit, dude. Oh, girls would be all over that. And mostly guys, actually. And grandmothers, because for some reason gay guys and grandmas think I'm so hot. I don't understand it. When I was younger, just a few years ago, a woman walked up to me. This woman was like 80, and she had a helmet on. I guess she was riding a bicycle in the middle of the restaurant. I don't know, but you know, she was being walked around by her son, and she walked up to me and she said, "If I was younger, I would have you for a fortnight." And then I was like, "Wow, that's really bold." And then I punched her in the face, and I started doing like the dance on her. I was like, Fortnite? I fucking love Fortnite! Build or no build? She said she plays build, so I smacked her again. Because who the fuck? Oh, I want to sweat. I don't. Look at this. I'm fat. I'm not trying to sweat. I just want to play fun Fortnite. That's all I want to do. Anyway, if her son wasn't there, I would have fucked her. I don't care. I'm a goblin. I don't discriminate against anything. I'm a fucking alpha male.
Reacted to the apology on stream.
I didn't even get an apology, but he gave me a vague apology. He said everyone that I made a vid on, but then he said Tana specifically.
He was appreciative of the vague apology. He didn't really
How come you didn't talk about rice scum in this video, bro?
Specifically apologize to him. He apologized directly to Tana and black people for using the N-word a lot.
I'm sorry, black people.
Particularly want to apologize to Tana. Tana, I'm sorry. I should have never made that video. I harassed Hannah in person and then harassed her online.
I'm specifically sorry to black men for stealing your girls. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Because I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. But black women like fat guys more than any other woman. Like, you know what I mean? I don't really know why. I'm actually genuinely curious as to why that is. That there's no hate in my heart for that. I truly wonder why black women like fat guys more. I really don't get it. Somebody answered for serious this question.
That's deplorable behavior. It's so stupid. I'm also sorry to all the black viewers and minority groups who had to put up with that video and put up with the phrases. I said either it's all okay or none of it's okay. And that's just so dangerous and stupid.
So dangerous.
And Tana, like we said, she thought she...
I don't know if it's dangerous, but it's definitely stupid.
Deserve that shit. She did a lot of self-reflection as a result of it.
I kind of think I like deserved that.
Yeah, I kind of deserve that.
And maybe that's like dark. Like,
listen, let's be honest here. She doesn't think that she deserved that. She's sitting here and she's got to pretend that she deserved it because it's like that's the new thing. The new thing for especially famous white people online is to whip themselves and go, I was racist. I was such a bad person. It's like we were all fucking dumb and racist back then. You know what I mean? Like it's bad. Apologize for it. But I deserved that. Why? Because you said the N-word when you were 14? Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? Who cares? Okay, black people don't care. Nobody gives you know what I mean? So
to say, I don't feel like I'm owed an apology.
It's kind of ironic. The only person he named directly in his apology is the person that says the apology is an apology that no one asked for, specifically her. And then she says that she's doing better.
She gets to look like a good person off of that one.
Now than she was before the content cop was made. So I'm not really sure. It's kind of wild. And now there just appears to be a massive rift between all these people. I mean, the Cold Ones guys.
Come in here. Yo, Papa, looks like CM Punk's gonna win the Royal Rumble. Awesome, bro. Thank you so much for letting me know.
Max and Chad, they used to be really good. This is just me completely speculating. I'm not direct friends. I'm acquaintances with a lot of these people, and I've spoken to some of them before. This is just me speaking from a fan perspective. I'm a fan of all of these people. And I will now begin to speak as a fan, not necessarily a fellow creator who can, DM Idubbbz, whatever. This is a wild thing. This is a very strange thing.
What's that?
I understand the fact that he's trying to distance himself from the things that he did, saying slurs, whatever, the I'm gay meme, all this wild sort of...
Oh, I say that's not a meme at all, brother.
Overall toxic behavior, etc. It makes sense. It appears to me like a fall from grace because I was one that was convinced that it was kind of cool and kind of funny and the edgy stuff is all right by him. I was not super edgy already and I didn't become edgy as a result.
He groom you to be edgy?
I just thought, oh, this guy's actually really smart and he's making these cool videos. I would never do this.
Is that what it is? Is it all the weight behind the wiener that is enjoyable? Is that what it is? Is it because black women have big butts or something and they like the impact? But that's... I said that out of love, by the way. Okay? Don't... I don't know. I'm saying that out of love, dude. What are you talking about?
Also speaking from a fan perspective, the whole sort of disassociation from the Cold Ones crew, it hurts a little bit to see that he's not really on there, man. He's not really on there anymore. He didn't go to Max's wedding. Even Filthy Frank was in that shit. It's just...
Who the fuck is Max? Mama Max reference. What the fuck?
and on it,
like Max Payne or Max Turbo. You remember that? Going Turbo.
Honestly, once again, from a fan perspective, that's a comparison that I would like to draw. The comparison of Filthy Frank to Idubbbz. Filthy Frank is a guy who also made up content and pivoted out of it.
Yeah, he just decided to make music instead.
Really effectively. And no one, it doesn't need to be addressed necessarily. It really, genuinely, from a rational mind, it doesn't need to be addressed. I understand it. From a creator perspective, I get why he'd apologize. So in conclusion, Idubbbz has moved on. Do you guys think that he needed to apologize? I do not think that he needed to apologize. Are you mad?
I don't think the apology is the issue. Like I said, I think he just overcorrected. He could have been like, yeah, sorry, my content was a little too edgy. He probably didn't need to apologize. At least not in an explicit YouTube video. Like if he wanted to talk about it, Max Carson, obviously, who the fuck is that? If he just did it vaguely on like someone else's podcast, I think it would have been fun.
Mad at him that he apologized? I'm not. Do you guys think that Idubbbz has absolutely and entirely fallen off, or do you like his new sort of thing that he's going with? Anyways, there's not really much else to say.
I made a video.
What's the new thing he's going with? World of Warcraft gameplay? Yeah, real cool. All right. I'm going to go pee.